University, serving as defensive coordinator and safeties coach of the Green Wave under Willie Fritz, and came to Tulane after spending the last 5 years at Georgia Southern, including his last 2 years under Coach Fritz, and coached at Northwestern State previously and Arkansas State. Tulane will host Southern University Saturday at 7 p.m. at Yulman Stadium. Please give a warm Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club welcome to Coach Jack Curtis of Tulane University. Jack.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I appreciate the invite and the Touchdown Club having us Tulane in to speak. Like Coach said, we're in our first year here as a new staff. I think almost everybody in the program involved in the football is practically new. It's been a big change, and we've really hit the ground running. We haven't stopped since we got here, I think, on January 4th. So it's been a whirlwind, but it's been a lot of fun. It's great to be back in the state of Louisiana. I spent 8 years in Natchitoches, Louisiana, and really fell in love with the whole state of Louisiana. It really kind of counted as my second home. I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama. A unique situation. My brother-in-law is a special teams coordinator and outside linebacker coach at LSU, and we're married to twin sisters. So my wife was very excited about the opportunity to come to New Orleans and only be just an hour away. So it's been a lot of fun. Kicked off the season last Thursday night against Wake Forest. Real tough to kind of know where you're at until you play that first ball game. And I thought we were, well prepared, and coming into this first ball game, I'm going to speak mostly on the defensive side of the football. Wake Forest was, a staff that's been together and kind of knew what they were doing. We were putting together everything over here at Tulane, and didn't really know what to expect. Went through pregame, you didn't know how the guys were going to react. But when we kicked off the football, I was really pleased at the effort that the players, the level that they played at, and so we did some really nice things. Held them to 175 yards, and when I told the team the other day, that was the same team. Basically, they had everybody back at Wake Forest, the same team that put 350 yards on Florida State and 400 yards, close to 400 yards on Notre Dame, and 450 on Duke. I mean, it was a solid football team, and we did a real nice job of preparing for and getting ourselves ready to play, and they did a nice job of executing when we kicked off. So 175 yards, we had opportunities to win the ball game, and couldn't quite capitalize on them. Thing that I guess if I was disappointed in anything last Thursday night is that we did not create a turnover on defense. And if we could have done that and given our offense the ball, maybe the outcome would have been different. But it was highly fought game on both sides, and 7-3 score. That's very unheard of in today's college game. It's y'all see the scores from this last weekend, and people are putting a lot of points on the board. So extremely pleased with where we, how we played last Thursday. Again, that's last week, and we're moving on to a well-coached Southern football team in Baton Rouge, and they got some really talented players. So our work is cut out for us. We're preparing for this game just like we would any, and hopefully, our guys are going to respond again. It's going to be nice to be home at Yulman Stadium, playing for the first time with a home crowd. So I don't know if anybody has any questions or anything I can talk about players or what I might be able to help you with.
Raise your hand if you got a question. The microphone to you. Raise your hand. Anyone? Yeah, go ahead.
Coach, thank you for being here today. As far as the offense that Tulane runs this season, how effective as far as is it that pure option veer type offense that allows smaller linemen to, in other words, offensive linemen to excel at that type of offense? If you could talk about as opposed to pass blocking. I know that's not your.
No, I can't talk about that. I've been around the offense, and I was at Georgia Southern before Coach Fritz got there. I was there 3 years previous to him arriving at Georgia Southern, and we were a true triple option team, under center triple option. And it was really a nice fit when Coach Fritz came in for what they were doing offensively. It fit the style of play that I knew our offense could do, because we didn't have a real big offensive line. It's a little bit different from under center option. It's we're a little bit more zone, so we are still looking to get the bigger offensive linemen. But we can play with a less. We don't have to have the biggest. We want them athletic just like everybody does, and so we look for certain things, and that size is one of them. But we don't have to totally go for the 6'5" guy. We play with some 6'2", 6'3" guys, 6'1". So we're just looking for the best football player. But it's a good question because the option game does equalize, and with the beer and stuff that you're seeing, and you don't have to get the movement necessarily on every play. But we're still a zone team, power football team, and we still got to be able to move some people at times.
Anyone else? Over here. Wait for the microphone, Bill. There you go. That's right.
I guess I was going to say, having coached with Coach Fritz for a while, I believe you have.
Yeah, this started my third year.
Starting your third year for a little bit. What characteristics, if you look at his record, you look at his background, things I read, he looks like a fantastic head coach, a fantastic leader. I guess if you could expand on what you've learned about him, what you like about him, and why he's been so successful.
He's really well liked by his coaches and his players, and they really play hard for him. He's well organized. He's that it factor. He's got it, and people are around him. He brings out the best in him, and he doesn't get too involved necessarily with the X's and O's. He's more of a fundamentalist, making sure we're doing these things right from an offensive, defensive standpoint, and that we're putting the effort into those things. He's got a plan to win, and it's not just lip service, and he's out there coaching it every day. And for instance, tackling, okay? This last week, we had 12 missed tackles in the ball game against Wake Forest. And in a regular game, you'd like to be in single digits. It's outstanding, and we tackled really well last Thursday. Season opener last year for Tulane, they had 46 missed tackles in the first ball game. And so we go back and chart that, and it's one of his things that he's going to preach and talk about all the time is tackling. And not only does he preach about it, he's the one that coaches it. We spend 10 to 15 minutes every day, and he sets the drills up. He's running them. So he pushes the things that he believes in: ball security, not turning the football over, tackling, not beating yourselves. Well-disciplined football team, don't penalize yourself. It's hard enough to win a ball game by beating someone. Don't beat yourself. And he has a great way to present that. The players have bought into it and believe in it, and as well as the coaches. Those simple things that a lot of people want to talk about all the time, but then they don't do the necessary things to do it. It's just a lot of lip service. He believes it, and we work it every day. So I think that with his organization and people getting him believing, it makes it a special deal. Because you're right, if you look at his record, whatever level he was coached at, he was head coach in junior college, he won. Head coach in Division II, he won. 1AA, he won. Division I, he's won everywhere he's been, and at every level, and not necessarily programs that are already established. He took programs that were at the rock bottom and turned them into winning programs, and that's what. When I first had the opportunity to work for him, I was excited about that, and did it at Georgia Southern. I know we were at Georgia Southern the first year, so we moved up from the FCS level to Division I, and we were picked second to last in our conference. When we won the conference, went undefeated the very first year, and so same team we had the year before that lost 4 conference games at a 1AA level. Okay, same team basically came back, and we went undefeated at the Division I level. So he has an outstanding way to motivate people and have them believe it.
In the offense, I noticed that the quarterback basically was the offense. Was it because he was this was his first game to start, and they didn't have the confidence for him to do the running backs at this point in time, or is he going to be a major part of the offense?
Well, our quarterback definitely is a major part of the offense. And, I spoke with Coach Roos the other day and told him, Wake Forest was a good defense. I believe they were low 20, 21 maybe in the country last year, in defense in the country. As a well-coached football team, had basically everybody back, and they're very sound and solid. I think like maybe a combination, first quarterback, first time starting, and we had some things hit, and we couldn't pop it, and run and would break it in the open field, and one person would get us down, and then the drive would stall out. We had some opportunities to put some points on the board, and wasn't able to capitalize. But I don't know if you can put your finger on one thing. It's going to take a little bit of time for the offense to start clicking, and coming from a pro-style offense that they ran last year and going to the option, we've made tremendous headway from where we took over in the spring and where we started. And they're getting better and better. I firmly believe that they're going to be able to find their niche and get going here. And it stresses it, and I face them every day as a defensive coordinator, and it stresses you. You got to defend so many things, and with that option game. And I think if you make a mistake or you're not quite lined up right, they'll expose you. And being part of this team that runs option for the last couple of years, I mean, I've seen us go in there and battle some of the best teams in the country, and move the ball. And I know we were a less talented football team. We played Georgia last year and won 10 ball games. And took them into overtime. And teams that played well against North Carolina State and Georgia Tech. I mean, Georgia Tech's year they went to the Orange Bowl. So it is a great equalizer, and I really do believe that the offense will start to click here and they'll get going.
Over here.
Coach, what are the challenges in preparing for a lot of the pass-happy offenses that you'll see on the schedule while going against a run-centric team in practice?
I'll tell you this, when I was with the previous option staff, it didn't exist a pass skeleton in practice. Our offense does throw the ball, and it is very capable of throwing the ball, and we're going to have to. That's what we want to get to. We probably want to really be 60% run, 40% pass when we all come. So they give us a look every day. We go good on good against our offense, and probably 24 reps a day. So and they'll show us all the looks that we need to see. But there's probably not as much emphasis. But I think the thing that you have that goes in your favor is the toughness that you bring to your football team of being able to stop the run in a physical game. Okay, and that's still a little bit old school, but the most physical football teams still win the game. Okay, and what we do offensively and running the football, and like I said, I think the last two years we've led the nation in rushing in all divisions, 1A, 1AA, D2, junior college, Pee Wee. We've led every division. Those things will make you a tougher football team. And, some of the things that have happened with football is, it's more for the offense. It makes it a little bit tougher. But if you got that toughness on defense, I think that in the long run, that'll pay off for you.
Any others?
All right, thank you all very much. Appreciate it.